Welcome back to the Better Lives podcast. I'm your host, Kaitlin.
And I'm Michelle.
And today we're continuing our holiday theme, but we're going to be looking at how we can make the most of our money during the holidays this time. We already know that holidays aren't just about spending. They're about gratitude, family, and celebration. This is why we want to talk about spending with intention and how to start the new year with a financial fresh start. We brought in a special guest today to share her experience, Kellie Marshall, our Eugene branch manager. Thanks for being here, Kellie.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
We're super excited to have you on the show.
Yay.
So you talk to members every day. In your experience, what's one of the biggest financial stressors that members talk about around the holidays?
Sure. Great question. So overspending on gifts is the big one, obviously. So each year, members come in and share how the pressure to buy the perfect gift or the perfect present for everyone, their kids, their partners, their coworkers, even your Amazon driver can really add up, right? There's this feeling that if you don't spend enough, you're not showing enough love, which just simply isn't true. So some members mentioned that they feel guilty if they can't match what others are spending. It makes them feel insufficient or inferior. Others talk about the stress of travel costs and big family meals and all those little extras like decorations and holiday cards and stocking stuffers, things that just sneak up on you. And of course, there's always the January credit card statement. That is the post-holiday financial hangover. It's real, and it's something that we hear a lot about.
I mean, I've been there myself. I totally understand. I feel like, I have 2 kids, and so I'm already trying to make sure I spend the same amount on each kid,
Yep.
right? But I have a 2-year-old and then a baby, and so it's like, obviously, she needs more than he does.
Right.
And then with family, we have a huge family, and so I'm like, I have to buy everybody a gift, and it has to be equal, right? Doesn't it?
In your mind it does, right?
Yeah.
But is that really what matters to them too?
Exactly.
Right? So I know that in your mind you're like checking off, I got this, but does it really need to equal up for everybody? Can somebody
it's
just
awkward,
have
right?
a,
It's awkward
a
to talk
homemade
about.
gift? Exactly. It is a little bit awkward and uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. In my family, we don't do, it doesn't have to be equal. It's about what do they really want. So my kids always have a list, an ongoing list, and it's just a matter of what's the first thing on your list? Can we afford that? Can we do it? Like my daughter wants a laptop. Well, she's too young for a very expensive laptop. So what else is on your list? What else can we look at?
Yeah.
But my son, they have a birthday coming up and they have less needs and wants. And so sometimes it doesn't have to be fair or equal. It's really about for our family, it's about what would really make you happy. What do you really, really want? And sometimes it's simple, a book that they really want, a new addition to their collection. And sometimes it's more expensive.
I have a really good friend that I wish I would have known this when my kids were little, because now my kids are older and I can't really retreat back to it. But she always started her kids off with 4 gifts, something you want, something you need, something you wear, and something you read, which is amazing. I just think that is the absolute most wonderful thing. And 4 gifts is obviously plenty, and they can be big or little or, whatever it is, but it's truly something that you really, really want, your top of the list Santa gift, something you might need, and then, some cool clothes for school, something you wear, and then something that you just get to read and curl up with a book.
I think that's so great.
Yeah.
Kids don't read enough.
I know.
So it kind of encourages that.
And if you kind of start that while they're younger, then that's what they're used to every year.
Yes.
Their list becomes those 4 things.
Well, yeah, it's harder to start that.
Yeah. When I think that my kids were 15 and 17, and now they're 18 and 20.
No, I want an Xbox and games.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so funny.
Well, and also, my kids just like unwrapping something. So we wrap everything.
Yes.
And it even the little candy bars and the little, blind boxes or the little things that go in there, everything gets unwrapped, and it takes them longer to unwrap it all, but they enjoy it all.
Yeah.
And they take the moment to appreciate everything.
It. Yeah. We open one at a time in my family, because we spend a month and a half, 2 months preparing for this holiday, and it just goes by like that. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. So we just go around. It's myself and my husband and our 2 daughters. And we just go around and watch each other open what the other person gave them and really enjoy it. And, you know, it takes a couple hours in the morning before we make our waffles and our bacon. And, you know, it's just like our super special family time before all the relatives and in-laws and everybody come over.
And it's great that the kids are interested in, what did you get? And how do you like what I got you? Or isn't that funny?
They're at the age that they enjoy buying for mom and dad because they, you know, when they both have jobs, they can, you know, spend a little bit and buy stuff for mom and dad and see the appreciation that we have, you know, because we're always like, don't spend your money on mom and dad. We don't want anything. We don't want to do anything. And so when they do, it just kind of, it makes their heart feel special too.
I mean, I feel like for everybody, especially the 3 of us, the holidays have so many emotional spending triggers. I mean, I want to make my friends and family as happy as they can possibly be. And you try to keep up. Right. But then you're disappointed, like you said, in how much you spent and looking back at your statements and you're like, did I really spend that much money? So Kellie, how do you approach gift giving without the pressure to overspend?
Yeah. So, I mean, the holidays are just a roller coaster of emotions. And for many of us, the urge to make the season magical for our loved ones can lead to emotional spending. Maybe you see a commercial with a happy family and think, I want that for my kids. Or you're scrolling through social media and you see a friend's post about their extravagant gifts or trips. And you feel like you need to keep up, right? And that's not necessarily what the case, right? That feeling inside of you isn't what really needs to happen with you and your family. There's nostalgia. I mean, so recreate the magic that you remember from your own childhood. Make up your own holiday traditions with you and your family. Start something new and special. But let's be honest, shopping is just a way to cope with holiday stress. Retail therapy is real, but we can leave it we can leave our stress in the old year and start the new year fresh. So one thing that you kind of realize over time is that nobody remembers what they got last year, right? Nobody remembers what they got the year before. I remember when I was a kid, I got a Cabbage Patch doll, but no clue what year that was. And I try and think back to what I got my husband, and nobody remembers, right? We draw names every year, and by the next time, same time next year, we're going to say, I don't even remember who I had next year. So you're making yourself feel guilty about those things, even though what they're going to remember is the time that they spent with you and what you did and just being there together. It's really not about the gift. So I like to flip the script a little bit and make the focus more on meaning over money. So a few of the ways that you can still keep the joy in gift giving without breaking the bank is set a budget. I mean, Santa does it and we should all do it. Decide what you can afford before you start shopping and just stick to it. Get creative with those homemade gifts and frame photos or playlist of favorite songs, something that can mean so much more than something expensive. Talk to your family and friends. Chances are they feel the exact same pressure, and suggest a spending limit or a gift exchange to keep things fun and affordable for everybody. But remember, the best gifts are truly about connection and not cost. So a heartfelt letter or a day spent together can be more memorable than anything you buy in a store.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I really like the way you think nobody's going to remember what you did last. Because that's very true, but you pressure yourself into finding the perfect gift this year, and it's
even though it doesn't really matter in the end.
It doesn't. Like, you'll remember things from when you were younger and you had this great Christmas, but you just remember the thing, and like it just doesn't mean as much to you, the following year. You're like, I had it, I played with it, I did it, moving on.
And then it didn't matter anymore.
It didn't matter anymore. But I was with my family and we had this tradition. We sat around the tree. We opened our gifts one at a time. We always have waffles and bacon. Like, those are the things that people remember.
Yeah, the tradition.
The tradition.
Yeah, and the time spent.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Any other kinds of ways you can think of that don't cost money that you can still celebrate?
Yeah, so it's gift experiences, right? Not just stuff. So experiences create memories, and that lasts way longer than most stuff, right? So give a movie night, a kit with popcorn and a favorite film, or plan a family hike, a day to a local museum, or offer to babysit for a friend so they can have a night out. And
that's a good
trust me,
one.
that is priceless gift for parents, especially parents with younger kids.
Yes.
My gift to you is, 4 or 5 hours of babysitting time, so you and your spouse or partner can go out and have a good time and not have to worry about the kids. That's a huge gift.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as a homemade coupon book for chores or hugs or breakfast in bed, things like that can be a hit. So low cost traditions, build them on your own. Game nights, make a craft night. My family, we do our baking always this Saturday before Christmas, that we go and we hand out to all of our neighbors, but we all get together and we bake all of the stuff and we get our kitchen filthy and we sometimes yell at each other, but it always ends up turning out perfect, and it is absolutely a tradition. And then we walk all of those treats that we made over to our neighbor's house. So it doesn't have to be expensive.
That.
Yeah,
That's so cute.
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And the experiences thing you said, like, I feel like most parents don't even really want a bunch of toys for their kids for Christmas.
They're like, one more thing.
No, it's like more clutter.
Yeah.
And we're asking for a zoo membership and the aquarium membership this year.
Yeah,
But people do like to pick out a gift, I've noticed.
they do. Yeah.
So
yeah, they sure do.
But yeah, I also don't think you can underestimate the joy of a baked good or something to eat. Like my parents don't bake anymore. They live in a tiny little apartment. But for the longest time, my parents have always asked for cookies that my kids make. And so we just make them shortbread cookies and Christmas cookies, and that's what my parents ask for every year.
Yeah, and I love that, and that's what your kids will get used to doing for them, and they'll have that memory when they get older. You have to remember, also Secret Santa or gift swaps are also a classic, right? They're a classic for a reason. It takes the pressure off of buying for everyone, like you had mentioned, Kaitlin, and you can set up a fun theme or a price limit. So a white elephant gift exchange for lots of laughs, or the silliest gift are the most memorable. Family traditions that just don't cost a ton, or bundle up and walk around the neighborhood and look at the holiday lights together. Get some hot cocoa and hop in your car and go around town and look at all the different beautiful Christmas lights. I mean, those are some of the special things that we did with our kids when they were younger. And we had the moon roof, and we'd go really slow, but we'd let them stick their head outside of the moon roof and see all the beautiful lights in the different neighborhoods. And so that was always really cool. And of course, a holiday movie marathon. You can never go wrong with a Christmas movie with popcorn and pajamas.
Oh, you mentioned the Secret Santa thing, and every year somebody wraps a fondue pot at our Secret Santa for our family, and whoever gets it, it's like a joke. They bring it back the next year, and we see who gets it the next year. It's so funny, but
I love that
so
much.
We do that every year, and you buy a gift for one person.
Yeah,
It's just it's so great, and we do like a limit of like $50 or whatever it is. But
it doesn't have to be extravagant, and it can be, this year we're going to do all homemade things, or this year we're going to, play games together, or whatever it is. It's more just about spending that time together and creating something that is memorable for you and your family. I also remind people about, setting a budget. Decide what you can afford to give, and don't feel guilty about sticking to it. Everybody's in different situations, and people understand that. And like we talked about before, they don't remember. They're not going to say, oh, well, so-and-so only spent $10 on me. That's just not typically how people's minds work. They're just thankful that they were remembered over the holidays and that they got to spend time with somebody that they love. But give from the heart. A handwritten note or a homemade treat. Even just your time can mean so much. And you have to remember your own needs during the holidays. It's okay to say no or to scale back if you need to. The people who care about you will really, truly understand that. So you can also plan ahead and start saving early and look for deals or ways to spread out costs. Or a lot of families gather around food. Food is a big thing around the holidays, and maybe you always bring these 3 big things. Well, maybe this year just volunteer to bring 1 thing instead of all 3 things. Just figure out little ways where you can cut back. Maybe buy generic instead of brand name. Just always kind of be thinking ahead about what you can do to cut back a little bit and make it so your January credit card bill is not frightening.
I also feel like avoiding that last minute shopping too. I mean, they jack prices up around Christmas.
Absolutely.
And I am a guilty mom of shopping on Christmas Eve. Not gonna lie.
We've all been there.
But this year I'm not doing it. I did Black Friday this time to get all the deals. And just by avoiding that, you can save a lot of money. And just the impulse purchases too, like ask your kids for their lists ahead of time. That way you know. And my mom would always wait till the last minute. And I just remember her being like, I don't know what to get anybody. And I'm like, well, here's our list. Yeah. You have 1 week.
Go have fun.
Yeah.
It's stressful though. Like my 20-year-old has already given me her list. She's a planner like me. My 18-year-old, she's like, I don't know, just whatever. And, you know, you just kind of, I appreciate the people who are planners, but I totally have been there on Christmas Eve going, oh my gosh, I forgot to get stocking stuffers. What am I going to do? And scrambling and running to Fred Meyer, you know, and all the traffic and all the hectic days leading up to Christmas. So we've all been there.
I don't like shopping before Christmas.
Yeah. Well, and like imagine
Costco.
what our parents did when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
So there was not Amazon. There wasn't anything where you can just ship it
No
in 2
same day
days.
delivery.
No same day delivery, none of that. So I think about my mom like having to go, you know, walk around the mall and carry all the bags and like figure out what to do from store to store. And if they were out of something, they were out of it. It wasn't like you could go to eBay and get it because Amazon didn't have it. So I feel like we're actually pretty fortunate because everything can just kind of be delivered to us. I had a gift delivered to my office for our oldest daughter because it was large, and so I didn't want it to go to our house because she might see it. But it just showed up the next day, right? It just makes it so simple.
So convenient.
So we really need to appreciate that about today's technology in the world we live in today also. We didn't have it as hard as our parents did.
Well, it also makes, you know, comparing prices easier with how convenient shopping is. I mean, sometimes things are actually more expensive on Amazon than, say, Target.
Yeah.
And so just looking around can be really smart while you're shopping.
Yeah, for sure.
On the topic of financial tools and shopping strategies, is there anything that Central Willamette offers that you wish more members took advantage of this time of year?
So it's not necessarily even just this time of year, but always thinking ahead, not necessarily for Christmas, but for vacation, for taxes, for anything. We offer a rainy day savings account where you can, you know, just kind of tuck money away. And if you do that on each of your pay periods, when you get paid and you instantly transfer money to your savings account or your rainy day savings account, it's kind of like that out of sight, out of mind feeling. So, and you get to the end of the year and you're like, oh my gosh, I've already saved $500. I totally forgot I was even doing this. And that just kind of lifts a big weight off your shoulder. But just make sure that you're comparing prices and don't let the holiday rush trick you into overspending.
I wanted to ask, are there any local businesses to Eugene that you recommend people shop at? I'm not from Eugene. I don't really go there too often, but I'm very curious.
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot. So Euphoria Chocolate is one of the biggest ones. It's a local chocolate company, and they're at 5th Street Market. They're at the Oakway Mall. They've been around forever, and they have a very good reputation in our community. Of course, the Duck Store for all the Go Ducks fans we have
so
out
you're a
there.
Ducks fan.
I'm a Ducks fan, yeah. The University of Oregon gear. Down to Earth is a wonderful little eclectic shop for home goods and little garden treasures, and you can just be in there for hours and just see something new every time you turn around. It's just a wonderful store. There's a place called Stitch and Post, and that's for like your crafty friends and people who want to, you know, knit or sew or that kind of thing. And then Smith Family Bookstore is an iconic bookstore down on Willamette Street that is still very near and dear to a lot of Eugene families' hearts because it's been around for so long.
Nice.
That's so awesome. I love little bookstores like that.
Yeah. And the community, it was going to close, and I think it's been a couple of years, but the community came together and raised funds to keep it open.
Aw.
Like it's just something that's always been there, and it was
great.
super important to our South Eugene community, and they rallied, and it's still open.
Something else people don't think about is that when you shop local, you're not just like helping one person, you're helping the whole community,
You
right?
are.
Because those dollars stay in the community.
Exactly.
And that's super valuable.
Yeah.
So let's talk about starting the new year strong. So we talked about how you can look at your statement in January and be like, oh my gosh, I spent so much money. So in the new year, just take a look at what you did spend and ask yourself what went wrong. What can I do better this year? Maybe I start putting money away in savings early, like Kellie said. $50 a pay period really adds up.
Yeah, it sure does. Absolutely. Start your holiday 2026 fund in January, and just kind of tuck away a few dollars here and there, and just try not to touch it.
That's hard to do. But
it's very, very hard to do.
Yeah.
But if you're saving early in a separate account, it's just, it helps ease the stress when the holiday season does approach. And again, if you set up those transfers for each paycheck, it just is out of sight, out of mind. And you can go at the end of the year and be like, I did this, and feel proud of yourself that you were able to do that.
Yeah, I always tell myself, oh man, why am I so stressed out? Christmas is the same time every year.
Yeah.
And I feel like this every year.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
I just got to plan better.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a member come into the branch after the holidays just super overwhelmed about what they spent?
Yeah, absolutely. But we've all been there, right? Sometimes the holidays just get away from us and bills start rolling in, and members come in feeling overwhelmed. I just have to remind them that they're not alone, and it's never too late to make a plan. So we can sit down and look together at their budget and come up with a strategy to pay down those credit cards that they used over the holidays. But we also look to ways that they can pre-plan for the upcoming year also, right? So to make sure that they're set up for success moving forward. But the most important thing, I think, is to just be kind to yourself and take it one step at a time. And, if you are having a hard time with your credit cards or whatever it may be, come visit us. Come visit us and let us sit down with you. I mean, January very quickly rolls into tax season, and then we have a whole different conversation. That can be a great time of year for people who are used to getting refunds on a regular basis, and that kind of can help them feel like their credit card debt from the holidays isn't so daunting.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Great.
I'm always interested in, those conversations and what you would tell somebody.
Yeah. I just love it so much when people take the time to come in, and, it is a humbling experience to be in debt, and you want to go and you want to feel like you can talk to somebody about it, but it can be embarrassing. But, at your local credit union, we've heard it all. We've heard it all. And so we want to sit there and talk with you and, a couple months from now, see you with a big smile on your face saying, I got it paid off, and celebrate those moments with you.
Oh. And the holidays should bring joy, right?
Exactly.
Not stress.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
come in to see us,
Yes.
and we can help you have more joy
Yes.
and less stress. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today, Kellie. I really enjoyed getting to talk with you. And I think that the tips we've shared can be super helpful to our listeners out there. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Central WCU, and check out our website. You can find our podcast landing page. You can send in any feedback you might have or any suggestions for episodes. Just join us next time so we can keep building better lives together. Thank you.
Thank you.
The information provided here is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions.